Well, our pick and roll defense was very good, and some of the elements of our defense are difficult. I've been telling you guys about this since back in early October. It's hard. It's hard to press up and be physical and fight over, but when you do it, it's the best way to defend, and it's the most effective way to defend. And so we did a much better job of it. Bruce Brown was great. Andrew Nembhard was great, and Matherin did a good job, and Ty had some good press ups as well. So we got to stay with it. I mean, if we want to win games, hard play is going to be the answer.
Some of your players have talked about limiting the three-point attempts for other teams this season with that defense. How have you felt about how that's worked for you guys through 15 games?
I don't know the exact numbers, but I know we've made improvements in that area. This thing's still evolving, but what is not an evolving thing is hard, aggressive play. So that's something that we've got to be steadfast about as a staff, as a team. We got to carry Friday night into tomorrow night.
Do you hope that defense in the fourth quarter can be that positive reinforcement of what you're trying to do and they actually went out and did it?
Yeah, listen, or I can just start pulling guys out of the game, and it can get ugly. And maybe that's what has to happen, because we got guys on the bench that are more than willing to do this kind of stuff. So, I'm anxious to see where we are tomorrow. I mean, I liked our practice today. It was energetic. There was enthusiasm, and we were working on a lot of these physical things. So, but NBA day to day, try to get a little better each day. And try to develop a culture where people want to do the hard things.
Is there hope, too, that defense can become contagious when you see what Drew does, when you see what Bruce does, what Miles did in the fourth quarter, that the other guys fall in line a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, our system is no different than Orlando's. Orlando's the number one defensive team in the league. They have a lot of toughness on that team, and they got a lot of guys that are defense-minded guys first. That's the reason they're number one in the league on defense. And they have good coaching and all that, but it's the same system, and we just have to make a choice that doing things the hard way is the right way and the best way and the only way.
Aaron obviously was back out here. How's he feeling coming along? Are you hopeful?
He'll be listed as questionable, but I hope he plays.
With Andrew being back out there defensively, are you can you even be surprised at the level of impact he's had defensively in just kind of year two here?
No, we've been missing him and Aaron. I mean, they're two of our better perimeter defenders. So having those guys back helps. Matherin's made some pretty significant strides this year defensively. He was really good in the Detroit game. But it's all about sustaining and committing, and that's where we are. That's where we are. We know we can score, but doing the hard things defensively is the next step of our commitment.
What you mentioned Matherin. I guess what are you, when you're getting the best out of him defensively, what are you seeing and what are you not seeing when you're not? I guess what's the difference? Just a high compete
level, just a high energy level going into the game. And let's be clear about something. Whatever happened with him and everybody else last year is done. It's completely different. It was a developmental year. This year, everybody's got to earn it. Everybody's got to earn it, and it's all about compete level. So that's the great thing about having a guy like Ben Shepherd sitting over there. I mean, there's a guy that'll go in and do exactly what we do in our system, and he'll do it with, unbridled effort. And, if I got to start pulling guys out of game for one possession to put him in there so they can see what it looks like. That's what I'll do, because it's too important, and it's just simply a decision that we have to make as a team, and our guys have to make individually. And if they can't decide, I'll have to decide for them.
Riss is doing better.
Yeah. Riss is better. Was able to get in practice, get some reps up, get some shots up. So
You gonna be good for tomorrow? You
Uh,
don't know yet?
I mean, I feel good, but I'm gonna let the training staff do what they do. Yeah.
What did you see last night from the bench group's defense, especially in the fourth quarter, to kind of lead you guys down the stretch?
Say it again.
That bench group in the fourth quarter, what did you make of what they did defensively to lead you guys down the stretch?
They did a good job playing, defending the pick and rolls, fighting over screens, communicating, boxing out. They did the little things that we talk about. So.
When you watched film of that today as a team, or whenever you guys did you guys see anything that you did really well that you want to repeat, or what was it?
Yeah, there was some important emphasis that we saw happen in the fourth quarter that we need to make a tendency throughout the entire game.
What do you guys always talk about in terms of defense's presence, his force, is everything like that? And was that the biggest thing that stood out? And
Yes.
Did you look at them and say, like, this is what we need to be doing?
Yes. Yeah. I think our presence, our force, our demeanor, those three things will speak volumes for us as a team moving forward.
Rick's pretty close to the NBA portion of the franchise record for wins. What has he meant to you since you got here?
Man, Rick has been phenomenal for me. Like, I couldn't be more grateful to have a coach like Coach Carlisle. He's spent numerous times with me in the summer working on my game. When I got here, he told me what he wanted from me right away. He gave me the opportunity. He believed in me. So I'm really appreciative for Rick, and I'm very happy to see, all the accolades that's coming his way.
A lot of people in Boston said they did believe in you, but to have a coach do that at that level you decide and give you those minutes and all that, how do you express that kind of gratitude to him if you even can?
Just play my hardest for him, and do what I can to help him win games and make his life easier.
When to go back to the fourth on Friday, when you see Bruce and Andrew working together like that, I mean, what do you see as like, okay, like this is how I like to be a piece of that, I guess. I mean, you guys have had some moments where you've all been together on the floor, but when you were sort of watching how they were operating together, how did you sort of see yourself also?
Like I said, they brought a good demeanor, good presence, good force into the game, getting into the ball handlers and fighting over screens.
What have you learned from Bruce? I asked Andrew this too. What's having him around, especially someone who really cares about defense, wants to bring force, all that kind of
bringing
stuff.
his veteran presence. He's one at the level that we want to win at. He's done what we wanted to do. Having him in the locker room, having us around us, having us on the floor. He's monumental for us and our success.
Is there anything you've picked up? I don't want to say that would be surprising, basically, but you didn't know that you didn't know. I guess about Bruce, in terms not his personality, but like in terms of like when you see the way he plays or the little things he does or the details. Is there anything you picked up that you didn't, I guess, already expect?
I wouldn't say so, because I already knew what kind of player he was. I knew what to expect from him. I would say it's more off-floor stuff like leadership, how vocal he is, and country music. Yeah.
Right.
How quickly did you find out after you met him about the country music thing?
Like maybe a half a day.
So he walks into every
I walk
door
in
with
the
it.
morning and country music is playing. It's everywhere.
Did you find out that he liked it first, or did he find out that you liked it first?
I think I found out he liked it first. Yeah.
Because he played at Blair's. What do you agree with him on in terms of country music, and what do you not agree with him on in terms of like what do you like that he likes? What do you think that he likes that's dumb?
I don't know. He definitely is more like involved in country music than I. He knows a lot more than I do, but I don't know. That's a tough question. I just know he likes it way more than I do.
Right.
Yeah.
How was just coming back from everything? How much was the back holding you up, and just how did you feel coming back?
I was just excited, man. I was super excited just to get back on the court. We have a fun group to be around, so I just wanted to get back out there and play hard with my guys.
Obviously, you came up with some really big stops, basically, especially in the fourth quarter. How did you just feel about how you played, the challenge that it presented coming back and having the guard cage part of that, just how you feel like you performed in a return game after?
Yeah, I thought I did my job. I thought I came in the game, brought energy on both sides of the floor, and did what I needed to do.
What's it like working out there with Bruce when you two guys just being really good on-ball defenders? Basically, what's that chemistry like for you guys on the defensive end? How do you feel like that worked together? What do you like about it?
I think it makes it tough. I think it makes it tough on guys that have the ball in their hands a lot because we can switch off and bring fresh bodies on them. So I think it's a good dynamic.
What have you learned from having him around, basically? How do you feel like you guys make each other better as defenders?
learning what's.
What do you? I mean, basically just from being around a guy that's also taken on top defensive assignments, done it at that level, like won the way he did in Denver, does a lot of some similar things that you do. What have you sort of picked up from watching how he does?
I think I just pick up the energy that it takes, and like the consistent effort it takes on that floor to really stop and make it hard for guys like that.
How did you feel after that first?
Felt good, man. I felt real. I was super excited before the game just to get back out there. I love hooping, man, so it was fun for me.
Do you agree you kind of felt stiff when you were warming up before you played?
Yesterday?
No, the times when
Couple
you were
days.
shooting
Oh
around.
yeah.
And then
yeah,
you kind
it
of
was
looked
a
and felt more like yourself, I thought.
For sure. I think it was a little stiff those days, so I was just working it back together, and it was getting better every day. So felt real good out there yesterday.
What did that work to get you back take? Was it just physical therapy and in here every single day for some kind of treatment?
Pretty much. It was just a lot of treatment, a lot of hands on my body, getting that manual work, and then also strengthening and stretching my body.
Do you feel like defense can become contagious after we saw what you did, then we saw what Bruce did, then what Miles did?
100%.
Maybe down the line?
Yeah, I think energy and effort can definitely be contagious. And I think on that side of the floor, that's what you need to bring to make an impact. And I think as a group, we had a contagious energy on that side of the floor late in that fourth quarter.
I'm sure you have a lot of bad film sessions, but did you guys at all go back, watch that fourth quarter, and hey, keep doing that, keep doing that?
Most definitely. We looked at the defensive side of the ball and the things that mean the most to us on that side of the floor, and how we did a good job of that, and how we want to continue to do that. Games coming up.
Drew, in what ways have you felt your game evolve this season from last year so far?
I think I've gotten even better on the defensive side of the ball in terms of understanding the spacing in the league and the timing and hand placements and kind of stuff like that, and tendencies of guys. And I think on offense, I'm just more comfortable out there. I can get to my spots. I can make the defense kind of collapse, and I feel like I'm just comfortable on that side of the floor.
Did you work on that one-legged mid-ranger this summer? Has that always been something you had? It
Which
feels
one
like
was
you're going to
that?
that a little more.
One-legged?
Yeah.
Mid-range?
Yeah, like
don't
inside
think I've-
the free throw line. You did it last year some, but you've done it a lot more, I feel like, this year.
I took a shot off of 1 foot?
You've done it a few times
Like
this
a
year.
fadeaway.
Yeah, I can't. I don't
Oh,
know how to
okay,
do
like
it.
a side
Off
step,
2 feet,
off 2 feet, fadeaway, yeah.
But it looks
Mid-
like, yeah.
Mid-range has actually always been a part of my game since in high school. High school was that was my big thing, kind of just getting into mid-range pull-ups. So it's always been a part of my game, so I feel comfortable shooting those shots.
How's Bruce helped you grow as a player this year? You guys have some similar skills in general in what you guys do.
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, just like his energy and effort that he has is contagious, and it's something that you understand you need to bring every day. And I think that he's a worker, and you see him in the gym every day early. So something I learned from him is just consistency.
Did anything stand out to you over the week when you were watching? Sometimes when you're not playing and you know you're not playing, and you might see things a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think most definitely. I think as a group we just need to care more about certain things on the defensive side of the ball in terms of pressing up and being physical, being kind of the hunters that we are. We're young, we got to be the hunters every game. I think that's the main thing I kind of saw. When we do that, we're successful.
I don't think we're where we're going to be at for sure, but I think we're in a good spot right now, especially on the defensive end. I feel like offensively we're there already, but defensively, I think we still got a couple more steps to take. But I think we're there for right now. I mean, we just continue to just work every day and try to get better.
I'm sure you got asked already, but how did you like the pairing with you and Jalen the other night? I imagine you asked that exact question.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, I think Sticks would say the same thing. I think we pair it real well, especially on the defensive end. We pretty much got most of the rebounds out there. I mean, I had his back, he had my back. So, and I think that sort of gave the guards confidence too to play up because they both know they knew both of us was back there to help. So.
Obviously, that's not going to be a thing that's going to happen all the time, but how important is it just to have that option, kind of in your back pocket that you guys can play those two bigs together if you're facing a bigger lineup or if you're hurting on the boards? I mean, how important is it just to have that as a
I think it's big, especially because a lot of teams play with bigger guys as the 4 and 5. So I think having that in the back pocket is it's always good. I mean, I feel like we pair real well together. He's a stretch 5 and cause havoc at the rim. So I think it works.
How do you think you're both getting better, I guess, at defending in the perimeter? That's one thing Miles mentioned is that you guys were getting better at that so you could handle those switches if you had to step away, because that's the place where they can get you if you're playing two bigs. But how do you think you guys dealt with that part of it?
I I think we handled it real well. I think it's still, like I said, we still have a lot to work on, especially with closeouts and stuff on shooters and stuff. But other than that, I think staying on our feet and just guarding those guys we sort of getting better at it each and every day. So.
What stood out to you about what Miles did in that fourth quarter? He looked just energized and playing deliberately.
Yeah, I think he definitely came out with a lot of energy, especially on the defensive end. He was blocking shots left and right. And I think his activity on offense, just with the offensive rebounds, and he was just killing out there, man. Like, for real.
Do you notice anything different about Miles day to day this year from a confidence or maturity or any perspective like that?
His work ethic. I think it's always been there, but I can tell he's definitely like locking in more on it. Like every day after practice, he's in here working. Until he probably usually one of the last guys out practicing and stuff. So I think his work ethic is definitely improved. I mean, I think it's always been there for sure, but I mean, he definitely took a step forward in that.
You talked about bulking up in the past. So going to get someone like Duran, who's huge and really strong like that. Like, could you feel that progress defending players like that?
Yeah, of course. It was a couple of plays where he backed me down, but I didn't move. I think that just goes to show how much I've been working on my strength and stuff, and my leverage playing against bigger guys and stuff. But I mean, still young. I'm young, so I still got a lot to work on, especially getting stronger and stuff. So
another one you might have already been asked, but when did you find out from them that you and Jalen might be a pairing that they deploy in that game?
During shoot around, we got the sort of the same message that we were both going to probably be in. It was a probably, but I mean, I'm always mentally prepared for it. So I mean, once we were in there, like, we were just laughing and giggling the whole time because we already knew what time it was, like, when we stood both on the court. So I think we handled it very well. Sorry.
How much more reassuring or mentally is it easier to go into a game where you have that heads up, hey, be ready, versus teetering, like, I don't know if this is the game for you?
I think it definitely gives me a little more energy knowing, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, like Coach said, it's next man up. I might not be on they might not even be thinking about me playing me or whatever, but I mean, in the back of my head, I got to know, because I mean, fouls is a big thing that we sort of struggle with some games. So I mean, always staying ready, and I know I'm the third big, so I gotta always be ready. So.
Is there? I mean, yeah, real quick on that. I mean, it's like, as far as, I kind of asked you this already, but the mentality and whatnot, like having a sense of you could play at any time. I mean, does it feel different than last year? I mean, did last year you feel like go in thinking there could be stretches where you weren't playing at all? Do you go in now thinking, you know, I might not be expected to play, but anything could happen?
Yeah, especially with me being, I mean, the backup three, backup big, third big. I think that's always in the back of my head. Last year we had DT, we had Goga in the beginning of the year, so it was, I mean, it was just hard to know like who was gonna play. But I think I got a sense now of what's gonna happen and stuff. So.